There is a lovely book by Joyce Rupp called Fragments of Your Ancient Name. And what it is, it's a daily reader. Every day there's a different kind of expression describing God, kind of a part of the naming of God as such as we can do with our limited language. But it's either a poetic text that she has written or something that she has found about this description or name of God. And so you can go 365 days reflecting on the name of God per se in all these different ways and still not really get the complete sense of who God is. And that's what our readings are talking about today. As King Solomon finishes the temple and they dedicate the temple, the sign of God's presence is something that is not able to be completely seen or through. This cloud descends over the temple just as it descended over the tent of meeting all throughout their journey through the desert. And I love the expression there that the priests were not able to minister there because of the density of the smoke. Kind of reminded me of those liturgies with Cardinal Mahoney and all the incense that would go up all over the place. But the whole sense that, before the presence of God, we stop. And then we juxtapose that with this gospel reading of Jesus healing people and proclaiming the good news. It's just really beautiful to sort of other side where God is very visible, God is very present. And everywhere that Jesus went, no matter if it was a village, a town, or just the countryside, if he was walking by and people knew about it, they were dragging their sick over to the road. There was a beautiful little short video of these people. They're on the side of the road, and they've got this young boy. He's in this kind of bed, like hospital gurney type bed, and they're just sitting there. The family's all around, and they're looking intently at the road. And driving down, you see this car, and the car starts to slow and stops. And Pope Francis gets out of the car, and they're pushing the little bed with the boy there because he's got several different kind of disabilities and such, and is very ill. And they're pushing him up there, and all the Pope does, he just goes there, caresses the child's face, blesses him, blesses the family, and then gives them all a greeting. He gets back into his car, and tears are going everywhere. But it's that nearness. And our God is never going to be completely understood by us because he's just beyond. But that doesn't mean that God doesn't want to be near to us. And so when Jesus tells us to love God and love our neighbor, he's talking about how we truly love God in the fullness of that understanding. And by looking to people around us and the situations around us, we can encounter that nearness of God's presence and mercy. And in this year of mercy, we're being called to draw near to people, to be like Jesus, to draw near to them, and to convey that mercy and that love and that compassion that God has for us, to be that near presence. One of the biggest challenges that we face as a church is we have a perception as a cold and rigid institution. And in some ways we have to own up to that. But in other ways we're very much near where people are, especially in their suffering. And it's important that every single member of the faithful adopt that whole attitude of that compassionate nearness and the willingness to go out to where people are suffering and be near to them and to convey that. And that nearness, that compassion, liberates people from the different kinds of things that enslave them, including their own perceptions about their own future and their own destiny with God. So, brothers and sisters, it's a wonderful exercise to kind of help us get ready to begin Lent, is to contemplate how God is so much more than we can understand, but how God just so desires to be near to us, and how we are being challenged throughout this year of mercy, but throughout our whole lives, to become also that image, that reflection of Jesus, drawing near, drawing this ineffable God into that place and time where people need that hope, that healing, and that compassion. That's our work as disciples. What an exciting time to be alive in Christ.